Hello my friends and welcome. I'm testing the new camera today. It just arrived yesterday. This is Insta360. I also have 360 camera from Insta360. Because of that I also have this microphone. Well, at first I wanted to test this camera without microphone, but the sound could be shitty. So I guess with microphone it should be more or less okay. Just want to put the belt somewhere in the proper place. Yeah, I like this camera actually. I put it in a vivid mode, so the colors are usually brighter in this mode than usual. Well, anyways, it doesn't really matter. The weather, it's kind of cloudy today, but I decided to change it a little. In Switzerland it's actually very easy to do. You just need to climb higher. Yeah, I'm going to mountains, and actually one of the biggest mountains not far away from me, it's called Santis. Well, not far away, still I need to travel quite a lot for it, maybe a couple of hours at least. So I just refueled there, got my diesel on and going straight away to Santis. I was there once. I traveled on my motorcycle without any sort of the cameras, just like that. But today I'm gonna take my car and go there. You see, there is no snow, the grass is green, but in Santis, and I guess also in the Santis region, there should be snow, because the elevation of the mountain, as far as I remember, it's 2,500 with something meters. Yeah, kind of high. Now I'm looking for the mountain where I can climb quite easily, and which will be also very, very high, at least 3,000 meters, maybe 4,000 in the base case scenario, because many of the mountains in Switzerland, yes, they are quite high, but at the same time you need to have some certain equipment to nail them, yeah, to climb them. We already have the sun. I just exited the highway and there is the sun. Yes, it's shining out there at the back at the upper window, yeah, over here. It's crazy, but it's okay. So the trip didn't take a long time to reach the sun, but it's just occasionally. I hope that the weather will be fine today. Well, it changes very rapidly, so 1 hour you may have the sun, the another hour it's gonna be overcast, covered with clouds. I see that there are overcast clouds elsewhere, just this spot is very sunny. Nice. And while we are going, I want to speak about what worries me for the last, I would say, last months, or maybe 2 of the months even. Guys, I think that we are losing this confrontation. Yeah, again, we're speaking about political topic or maybe military topic. I think we are losing confrontation between democracies and autocracies. I see it, unfortunately, it is happening like that because of the many reasons. First of all, I see that Europe is not that united as it used to be, and United States is putting everyone aside. Like, it's more focused on its own profit than on security. So basically, because of this approach, autocracies, they're looking for opportunities. Now it's the golden time for them to renew some sort of the escalation or to restart the escalation elsewhere. Also, Russia may reinforce it towards the European countries, because Putin may see it as his own personal opportunity, because United States of America, it will not apply its forces and boots on the ground elsewhere for Baltic countries. No, Donald Trump will never ever protect those. And even for other European countries, I don't think that America will be involved nowadays. Under different White House administration, maybe, but not just right now. And we see also the division within the European countries, the countries like, or regimes, it's better to say, in Hungary, in Slovakia. Those are really terrible, yeah. Those are pro-Russian assets openly. So how can Europe has its own common security policy if they're really pro-Russian states as not states, but again, managements of the countries, governments, as Hungarian one, for example. This is outrageous what they do. They follow Russian narratives letter by letter. They're clearly Russian authors. Nevertheless, they have their own voice, not just in the European Union, but also in NATO, and they're opposing Ukraine, what is connected to Ukraine, Ukrainian military support, and so on. Ukrainian military support is very, very important, because Ukraine is the only country that keeps Russia actively busy on the ground. Without Ukraine, Russia would escalate to another countries also in Europe, I'm sure about it. And maybe they're planning also for the parallel escalation towards Baltic countries, as I mentioned, because the Russian budget for military, it takes roughly 40%. Just imagine, 40% from entire country's spendings are going for supporting military. There is also corruption, but the scale of the Russian army is big, and the next year they're planning to boost military support, investing billions and billions of dollars. Well, judging on that scale, I would say that they might plan even something bigger than just the war in Ukraine, which mainly, I wouldn't say stuck. Still, Russia has advantage in one or other way, and Ukraine is forced to defend itself, leaving the ground and exchanging it for time, which could be potentially used to boost Ukrainian support in the future, and for Russia to gradually stagflate as it is expected starting from the next year. But I see the signs that Russia is damn serious about continuation of the war and keeping its army busy elsewhere. And they not only have the project for the budget for the next year, but they also voted for it for the next 3 years. So it's gonna grow. They're gonna review every year the budget for the next and next year. But in general, for 3 years, they expect this war to continue till 2028. And that's the end of the Trump's term. So Russia wants to use this opportunity, this open window. Then America is not just not involved in stopping Russia, but as we see what is coming from Witkoff and Donald Trump personally, United States are now playing on the Russian side, supporting Russia in many of the ways, forcing Ukraine to capitulate because they want to make business as usual with Russia. As for me, this is very stupid. Because the business with Russia is not possible for United States of America. For Europe it is possible, and it was like that for extensive period of time. But for United States, in a way, it is a competitor for Russia, because United States also sells the same resources as Russia. I mean, oil and gas as well. Liquid gas is consumed in Europe, and they want to develop what Arctics, some sort of the resources there, but it's very difficult to get those out. I think that all of that Arctic story is over-exaggerated, and the Arctic routes, they are not profitable at all for commercial use, for the vessels, and also for natural resources. Just imagine the price of the fossil fuels which you'll have to take from the frozen ground, and how to operate logistics there, how to operate and build systems. So you all require to have heating, and like it all basically over-exaggeration, at least for now. Then we have alternates like in Saudi Arabia, in other countries. Well, maybe United States of America is looking for the rare earth minerals, which they might at least partially get from Russia, but still in China there have been protests, 90% of everything. So I don't think that it's going to be kind of profitable for the United States to cooperate with Russia after all. Maybe it's all down to justify the spendings of the government budget of the United States for those companies. You know, we opened the cooperation with Russia, so we require some of the investments from the national banks or from direct budget of the United States. Yeah, it could be, and part of that budget might go to private pockets. That's the big corruption out there in the United States, not just in Ukraine. Yes, United States, it's gonna be Actually, in the United States of America, the corruption could be even bigger. Something tells me like that. Yeah, you have more money, you have more things to steal. And judging on the rhetorics of Trump, Vitkov, Trump's family, they're doing it. They're scamming their own people for Trump coin, Melania coin. Melania coin dropped by 99%. Imagine 99% since it was released. That's the legitimate scam rag pull they did. I mean, the Trump's royal family, they did it, and this is absolutely crazy. It's very, very sunny, and also it is very beautiful here. I hope that the image is okay for this kind of the weather. Actually, for filming, the cloudy weather is way, way better, and yeah, people who film, they understand me that the light is not being that sharp, it's been dispersed, and you have very soft shadows, but then the light is like that coming from the sun straight forward. It's kind of complicated to film, and you might have kind of the not okay image. I already understood it. Filming my blogs, even on an expensive camera, it's gonna be crappy. But on this one, small one, I think it's more or less okay. It's not the best picture on those action cameras, but I like to use those. I think better than my iPhone. I used iPhone for some time, but now I use just cameras. Here we have the snow, it's nice, yay. Well guys, let's return to this topic of the global confrontation, which we are unfortunately, I see, losing. There is also the problem in Europe. I said about not common strategy for security, yeah, and the very deep division between some of the countries, and no common vector is out there, but there is also the problem with financing of Ukraine. I mean military, Ukrainian, first of all, military. We see that, for example, Belgium, they oppose confiscating Russian assets to support Ukraine. Instead, they propose to get money straight from the pockets of the taxpayers and send 46, I guess, billion euros the next year for Ukrainian military and economy support, but the rest of the countries, they mostly lean to the confiscation of the Russian assets, and there is the number is 140 billion from what I understood, dollars, not euros. But anyways, this sum is pretty much okay and kind of comparable to the Russian spendings on their army the next year. So that is what Ukraine really needs. But no, Belgian Prime Minister said that without any sort of the guarantees, we're not gonna support those to confiscate Russian assets straight away, because Russia may sue us and we'll have to pay money ourselves, because most of the Russian assets are in our bank, so we're risking a lot. Europe should guarantee, European Commission should guarantee security for Belgium economy in this case. So they're negotiating, and by the time they're negotiating, Ukraine unfortunately is losing its men and resources on the ground. Yeah, Russia continues its war. Ukraine is forced actually to use more army men to compensate the loss in other resources. So of course, the Ukrainian army, it needs the support. You may say that, oh, there is a corruption scandal in Ukraine. It's actually good that it is happening. I mean, this big corruption scandal, including Andriy Yermak, who was dismissed. Absolutely great news. As for me and as for most of the Ukrainians who didn't support him at all, Zelensky just dragged him all the way throughout his politician career. But finally he dismissed him, because it was evident for everyone that Yermak is not that good guy after all. Well, anyways, what I want to say that Europe may invest in its own military production and later on support Ukraine with weapons. For example, Ukraine signed the contracts with Sweden for Gripen fighter jet productions, and also Ukraine signed a contract with France for Rafale jets, and many others like Rheinmetall company is also interested in cooperation or boosting cooperation with Ukraine. But for everything of that, Ukraine needs money. And what is very sad, that Europe actually spends more money to support Russia than Ukraine. because they still purchase lots of the fossil fuels from Russia, because they were, very dependent and still dependent on the Russian fossil fuels. It was the policy for Europe for a very, very long time, and they cannot break it just like that, but they support Russia more. 100 and something billion euros they spent for Russia more the last year purchasing fossil fuels than they spent for Ukraine. So actually, you should boost the support of Ukraine in this case if you continue to purchase Russian fossil fuels. But no, Ukraine obtains just very limited military support, which is, as for me, very bad policy from European Union, from NATO and those countries, because it seems like those, politicians, officials, they don't understand the real threat. The threat is very huge, guys, and Russia may enter a real war, I'm telling you. But maybe those bureaucrats, they don't care, because they have enough money to live elsewhere, so they may exit their countries. They're not patriots or something. They're patriots of their own financial assets, their own bank accounts, but they may close those and open somewhere in Bermudas or other tax havens. They may go to live in Dubai. They may do whatever they want, because they have lots of the financial resources, but people will suffer, unfortunately. I mean, people of Europe could suffer also, and we have lots of the signs that the war is almost imminent. The war between NATO and Russia on territory of the European Union. And yesterday, once again, I saw Vladimir Putin, a Russian president, wearing military uniform. By the time, like one day before Vitkov goes to Russia, he was wearing that uniform, telling that Ukrainian government is not a legitimate one, that it's just a junta, it's the tragedy of Ukrainian people, this war, but Russia has no other option than to continue the war and to get rid of this Russophobic Ukrainian government. What they do is just basically they continue to unalive Ukrainians, continue to bomb our cities, and that's what they do, and justifying all of those war crimes, telling about some sort of the junta government of Ukraine. So we understand that Putin will not turn back. It's already vivid for everyone except Donald Trump and his team. They're still delusional. They still think that Russia wants, like Vitkov says, I want to tell to Donald Trump that Trump wants peace, and Donald Trump later on himself also said the same stuff, that Putin wants peace. No, Putin doesn't want peace. It's like, if he wanted peace, he wouldn't start all of that, or he would stop at least. But no, he just continues. Zelensky is okay for ceasefire. As Emmanuel Macron said just recently, Zelensky accepted the ceasefire and Putin didn't accept that, so it's Russia to blame. But no, for Donny it's completely, everything is upside down, it's different and so on. This Trump's administration is delusional in every sort of the aspect, in its military, in its economy, in international relations. There is now this shadow government of Vitkov. Oh my God, Ruby is out there, but Ruby is not even going to Moscow today. Instead, it's gonna be just Vitkov who might speak with Putin, and again he will come to Washington with those big eyes, telling how good the cooperation with Russia could be. Wow, we have this deal, we'll have that deal. But in fact, nothing of that is real, and Putin just outplays them with every of his step. Putin is actually acting more or less smart in all of those negotiations. He understands what he wants from those negotiations. Americans, they don't understand a thing. I mean, not entirely all of the Americans. I mean, White House administration, of course. And for Putin, main idea is to cancel the sanctions or not to apply new sanctions on Russia, because you see, we are in negotiation process. We are up to finish the war against Ukraine, or freeze it at least. But in general, it's like the fog of war, those KGB ex-KGB agents. They just outplay those commerce guys in the United States, in Washington. That's it. So far, they are succeeding in it. The only downside for them, and Putin said about himself personally, it was surprised that White House introduced sanctions, Donald Trump himself personally. But those sanctions, they could be lifted at any moment. It was solo Trump's decision, but we'll see. Yeah, without new sanctions applied or modification of those sanctions which were applied, Russia may circumnavigate absolutely everything with some time. It's just very profitable. Selling Russian oil is very profitable, and purchasing it is very profitable. It's very easy to get from the ground, not as easy as in Saudi Arabia, but still very cheap oil to purchase and to get. So it's like a big cartel with Russia, and there are some of the countries and companies who would like to trade with them. For example, China, India. Yes, they reduce the oil purchases, but it's just temporary for the next couple of months. After that, they might create some sort of the new companies because just two companies went under sanctions, Lukoil and Rosneft, so they might do business aside of those companies. It's not a really huge deal. Like, the Russian oil is still out there, it is for sale, and people are purchasing it. I mean, companies purchasing, even from India and China. Yes, the government companies, they stop purchases, but it's just the temporary solution. They will circumnavigate, as I tell you. So you see, where we are going. Sadly, Europe, it doesn't have enough military capabilities. Only now they start to invest some money into military production, its army boosts and so on. But it should have been done a long time ago. It's not enough time for them to boost the military before the full-scale war with Russia. It seems like I know when it's gonna happen. I don't want to shout out loud about it right now. I have my own thoughts, but sometimes I'm kind of bad in prediction, so I'm gonna keep it with me for now. I mean, not the date, but at least a period. Summer, spring, autumn, and particular year. Well, we'll see if I was right or not. I don't want to speak about it right now, but it's gonna be way sooner than many expect, especially European politicians. They will not have enough time to reform armies or reapply logistics in Europe as they want right now. It's gonna be very difficult, my friends, and that will make it more difficult to repel Russians, because whether we like it or not, but Russia has lots of the drones. Russia has military experience. None of the European army is capable to fight the Russian one at the small part of the front lines, like for example in Baltics. Yeah, the size of every sort of the country's army in Europe is way smaller than potentially Russia may deploy to Baltics, for example. I think it will happen in Baltics. Even Poland is now not that capable against the Russian army, unfortunately, but the Poland itself, I think it's the most capable from all of the European countries right now. The only way how Europe could sustain Russian aggression is to unite, but as I say to you, there is no unity, and the countries like Hungary, they will even support this Russian aggression, saying that Europe is guilty for the Russian aggression. That's what they're saying about Ukraine. But hopefully Orban will not be in charge of Hungary the next year. There are going to be elections in spring, and if the polls are correct, the alternate party or opposition party, it's called TISA, is gonna win elections, and it's gonna be the end of Orban's era. Orban is in politics for a very long time. I guess it's time for him to step down. And he did everything possible to harm European policy in general, and also Ukraine personally. So of course I do not support Orban even closer. Yeah, such a nice bright weather. Soon gonna arrive. Yeah, it's gonna be 13 minutes for me to reach Santis. I already see this mountain. It's not that far away. Nice. So Europe was living in this dream that, oh, mighty American army might help us. We are in the same NATO alliance. Fifth article. But without Uncle Sam, Europe is not that capable, unfortunately, and it was time for it to reform. Long time ago it wasn't done. Europe was just consuming Russian resources, Russian gas, Russian oil, still consuming, not that much as before, and it didn't invest into its armies almost totally. Like at the time, Russia invested a lot into its army. The European officials should have looked at Russia and what Russia is doing with money it gets from selling its gas and oil, boosting its own army. Army was always Putin's priority, especially right now. But the reformation of the Russian army, it happened for decade at least, and we all seen it. And after Georgia war, it was evident that something is wrong out there with Russia, that Russia is turning into aggressor state. And after occupation of Crimea, it was also evident. But no, Merkel continued trade, and everyone in Europe, they used to live in their wonderland. Well, soon it's gonna backfire, unfortunately. No, any aggression should be justified, and aggression should be only conquered with force. Otherwise, this aggression, if it feels unpunished, it's like with criminal, every sort of the criminal. If there is no punishment, criminal will continue to do crimes, the same as with Putin and Russia itself, Russian regime. They will continue to do it. You see? Yeah, here is the snow already. Nice. Yeah, I hope I took my glasses, but it seems like I forgot those. I'm very happy that I still have a good sight at my age. My parents, they don't have the good sight. I think for them the vision started to deteriorate and then they turn 50 or maybe earlier. But for me, so far everything is good, even though I work a lot on my computer. Like all that day I'm working on my computer, sometimes filming videos, editing. Yeah, editing, it takes lots of the time, but I don't think that I really work that hard as I could. Especially right now, I even may find the time for my German lessons. Yesterday I've started the German lessons. It was fun, but my head still cannot comprehend lots of the stuff. But I understand that if I continue to learn, after all, I'll speak it. Yeah, it's little by little. It's like I learn English. At first I panic, I couldn't understand the thing, but later on, little by little, you see, I can even speak some of the English on my channel, and without English I would be absolutely zero. English is must-have, I think, for every person nowadays in the world if he or she wants to be successful, or at least somehow to be someone in this life. Without English in any sort of the profession nowadays, it's not possible. Well, German is also needed if I live in a German-speaking country. That's why my goal is to study it. And I missed so much time, doing strange stuff, scrolling TikTok and YouTube instead of learning German. Yeah, now it's been cancelled. This policy is no longer valid. Now I need to boost all of the time resources and everything to learn German, especially then I like it. After all, it's a nice language. I like it a lot. I think after German I will study Japanese. I also like it. I'm not sure, but maybe. Well, I guess if I live in Switzerland I should study French in this case, because it's the one more official language of Switzerland. French, Italian, German, and one more, it's called Rätoromanisch, I think. Rätoromanisch, something like that. Yeah, I just hope that today the cable road is working to reach that mountain. I didn't look at it on the website, but I just hope. Driving like that. Anyways, I would drive somewhere, so let it be Santis. I can already see the mountain, you will see it later on. So guys, what do you think about this topic I was telling you about? I mean, whether we really losing this war between autocracies and democracies, because I see that autocracies, they're more united compared to Europe, United States of America. I think it's like a perfect storm for Western values countries, and China is supporting Russia, North Korea is supporting Russia. I think they have better communication and better unity between themselves compared to Europe, United States. I think for them it's easier with those autocracies, and also decision making is very fast. If leader decides to do so, they will do so, so they don't have those bureaucratic institutions. They do not rely also on electorate preferences. I mean, they're not running for elections, so they may do whatever shit they want to do. They don't care about opinion of people in general. At some level they care, but not too much. Not like in Europe. So for them it's way easier, even though they have different philosophy, different ideology there. I mean, what is common between fanatics in Iran and North Korean ultra-communist, or who they are, Kim monarchists? Nothing is in common, except they're both totalitarianism countries, dictatorship countries. The same as for China and Russia. There were also confrontations even between Soviet Union and China back then, I think in 70s. But now China and Russia, they're very close partners, I might say. And all of the dreams of Donald Trump to divorce China and Russia, they will not work, because the integration level and cooperation between those countries is too strong at this level. They're more united, and it was evident on the Chinese military parade that definitely dictators, they unite, they want to change the world order. And I would say that the world order, it doesn't even exist any longer. With Donald Trump, with escape from NATO, and with the current war in Ukraine Ukraine is not being fully supported by allied countries. Allied countries are arguing between each other, so it's not gonna happen. I mean, so the modern day security, it collapsed. And the dictators, they have the chance actually to change the world, but as usual, judging on the history lessons tell us that dictators, they never win. It's just gonna bring us maybe some sort of the big war instead. After all, they're gonna lose, but Europe and United States, they do everything for this big war to happen. They're not avoiding it by helping Ukraine, for example, more to stop and exhaust Russian army. No, just a little over there, over here. They do not boost their own capabilities. The United States is withdrawing the troops from Europe. So all of those steps, they basically, it's like inviting the Russian army, and not just Russian army, also China, to escalate, to attack NATO, to attack Taiwan, to destabilize the world. So the future years, guys, what is happening right now is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. In 30s, late 20s, 30s, the probability for the big war to erupt, it's very huge. Very huge. And I just hope it's not gonna be a nuclear war. That is gonna be still conventional, because countries, they understand that it's just gonna end everyone if it turns nuclear. But some of the influential people, rich people, they're digging bunkers somehow. Mark Zuckerberg, there was the report about him. I think on BBC they wrote about his bunker, which he digs down in Australia. Very interesting. Well, if I was a rich guy, I would dig a bunker too. I would try to make it secret. I mean, the exact location and the type of the bunker and what is there. But maybe it's a good option. One of the reasons for me to move here to this country where I'm right now was that it's kind of safe, neutral, safe, so the chance for it to survive the global confrontation is higher than, for example, in the average European country like Germany or France. But still, it's not the safest country, it's understandable. I think the safe countries are like in Latin America, or maybe New Zealand or Fiji, somewhere there, really far away. Australia, maybe, but Australia may have the confrontation with China. After all, Australia is the part of this democratic bloc of the countries, and who knows what China might do, because China consumes lots of the natural resources from Australia, and they might like to take those directly without purchasing, if they might think that they are capable to do it without being punished, right? Cheers. My friend Timur Rudov, a vessel captain, he filmed some of the videos from the ship, how they were operating from Australia to China, delivering lots of the iron. I think it was iron, yeah, he spoke about. There's lots of the iron in Australia. Even the Australian ground looks rusty. Well, there's some of the vehicles here. I'm reaching the final point of destination, Santis cable road. I just hope it is working, guys, because I want to show you that mountain. If not, well, next time I'm gonna travel here not the same day, but a little different day. Well, the cars are here, they're parked, and I just don't see the cable cart itself, whether it's running or not. Yeah, the cable cart is there, and people are here. Yeah, it should work. I hope so. Yeah, even the parking is it's very busy. Yeah, the view is just awesome. I'm gonna show you it very soon. I just wonder if I can make it without the cable road. Okay, I parked the car, everything is set. Now let's go. Well, I'm here in this parking spot, and there is the mountain over there. Whoa. That looks very high actually from the place I'm staying. I can see it's very, very snowy here. Yeah, it's also kind of windy. I should put the wind protection on this microphone, I guess. Yeah. There is the cabin, but it is out there for already some time. Maybe they are gathering people. Well, I'll know for sure pretty much soon. And here is the information and tickets. Here is the shop where I can purchase something. Well, the main thing that I already purchased tickets for the cable road. It is working. Some sort of the souvenirs. I remember I bought one of the jackets here. Yeah, it was actually a good one from the Finnish company Ruka, something like that. Yeah, it was really, really good. It is good. My daughter uses it, that jacket. Sometimes I buy those kind of the things. This is the beaver's fat. This one for cold cream, and this one for hot. Yeah, I have both. Yeah, I have many of those at home, so it's not necessary. And of course, these knives are here. By the way, I lost mine, so maybe I'm gonna purchase it. I'll think about it. They are not very expensive here, strangely, but yeah. The prices here are okay, not like you expect from those kind of the shops. That's the top. That's I'm going to this area with this thing. Yeah, the cable cart left, so I'll have to spend some time waiting. Yeah, we see this cart is coming. It's a big one, yeah. It goes here. Very, very beautiful. And hopefully, gonna take the same one on the way uphill. The last time I was here, it was some sort of the holiday and it was crowded. But today, it's okay, even though there are many of the cars on the parking stand, but I don't see many people. Maybe they're all already in Santis on top of the mountain. We'll see. Right, going up. The elevation of the parking is around 1,000 meters. So the climb should take maybe 1,500, something like that. Actually, this is the hotel, from what I understood. Yay, going up. That's the car going our way.
Very clinic. I know that's what.
Nice.
It's actually.
And here we're gonna bounce a little, I guess, on this cone. Boom. Yay. Shaking. One more and finish.
Here they're building already, look. Look, they're already building the new one. I got to move the glasses on.
2,502 meters. Nice. Yeah, all the people went out and just want to show you. It's very, very high here. It's also kind of dark. Guten Tag. Well, here is also like the local restaurant somewhere here and also museum. My goal is to climb on the top where I can actually exit to the rooftop itself. Coming out to the top. Whew. That's the very top. Oh my god. Just look at this view. Here's this big antenna. Or what the hell is this? Maybe just a lighthouse, a big one. Snow. Nice. Can I go back? I can see the fog over there. Yeah, it is very, very high. And Santis, it's pumping up a little from those entire mountains. They are way lower compared to Santis, so it's well recognized. And you fly also in this area. Santis is pretty much visible from the very long distance, especially if the weather is good as today. Whew, it's kind of bright. I need to wear some glasses. Yeah, this area is even higher than the previous one. Whew. Just look at those mountains, it's crazy. It also the check for my microphone, whether it's capable for coping with the wind. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. I was there on this roof, and now I'm here. Well, I guess there is the weg, so there's the road or trail, and it's gone. It's totally under snow. Birds are flying, looking for food. But I don't have any food, unfortunately. Maybe I should have brought something with me. Yeah, just look at those mountains underneath. Ooh, and between there is the fog, you know. And on top, here we have the sun. It's fantastic. It's great that I decided to hike today, and I really like this camera that I use. I think it's better than DJI, honestly. It looks more professional. I wonder about the video quality, but the menu is fantastic. I like it more than for DJI. People staying there. Yeah, that's the very top. Woohoo! It's warm actually. Not cold at all. Maybe because of the sun. That's the other side of the mountain. Where's Liechtenstein? The Liechtenstein is there, I guess, yeah. It's already Austria. Germany is over there. And here's Switzerland. Yeah, all of that is Austria. Yeah, I really enjoyed today's trip. It is fantastic. Really was driving here for a couple of hours, you know. I would like to discover more of the mountains. Maybe the next one will be Pilatus for me. Maybe something else. I don't know. We'll see. And there is the gimbal with the camera, and you may check online the situation on the mountain. So actually I knew before going here that the weather is perfect. But this view I like the most. Yeah, because of the sun maybe you will not see everything. I hope you will see. But this is just awesome. Fantastic. I thought maybe I'll have the opportunity to hike somewhere here on the top, but no. Everything is so snowy and it's impossible. All of the trails, they are fully covered with snow. I guess I found a mountain which I can climb, not in this area, it's in different one, not far away from Valency. It's called Matstok. Yeah, it's pretty much possible to climb it even during the winter time. I would also say that the cable road is quite expensive, 50 with something francs, 58 maybe even. This microphone, it's even cheaper than the ticket here and down. Just imagine it. Probably now I'm just gonna remove this camera and enjoy the picture as it is on my own, meditate a little. Fantastic weather for filming, for climbing, for hiking, for everything. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go down. It's already getting cold. I spent roughly half an hour here, maybe a little less, but it's enough. And here at the lower floor, at the same big building on the mountain top, there is some sort of the museum. Could be kind of interesting for kids, yeah. Some installations, some stuff is here happening. That's the precipitation level. Santis is here. Oh, we have lots of the precipitation here in this area. That's the column for this one, the biggest one. And what is this? It's the generation of tornado, I guess. Come on. Is it going to be not too much, but oh, now I can see it. Yeah, it's over here. Hopefully you can see it too. That's the installation. Can we switch it off? I think it has some time to play. That's it. Alright, now going down. By the way, I want to try the sound without this microphone, just to check, and you will tell me in the comments which sound is better. So we are going there, very low, very high we are now. Of course, for me the best variant is to use it without external microphone. The less gear you have, the better it is. Just wonder if the sound is okay. I turn on the sound enhancement of internal mic. We'll see if it is okay or not. You'll tell me. Such a beautiful mountain range here. Very beautiful. But not far away from Santis Alps. They just finish, and then it's flat-line terrain, Germany. It's strange, I have the anti-flicker on, but still I see some of the fluctuations here for flicker. Well, anyways, wanna buy Victorinox. I like this one. It has the saw, it has the knife itself. Looks awesome. The wooden, I don't know, maybe wooden is better. I think it's the best knife here from all of them. Yeah, I got this Victorinox. A little bit more expensive than I thought, but it's okay. The red one, the classic one. Here we go. The wooden handle costs more, like 20 with something francs more. I don't think it's worth it. The classical plastic is pretty much okay. But I guess that after all, during the winter season it's not possible to climb this mountain just like that. I think I should wait for spring, for May maybe. I think this winter I'm gonna go skiing. I have my skis. Just need to take my ski boots from Davos. I put them for extension and I forgot about them. I need to take them. Someday I'm gonna go there to Davos for skiing and gonna take my boots. Yeah, I definitely like today's hike for the camera test and I enjoy it a lot. Maybe next time I should film something challenging, not the tourist destination or something fancy stuff, you know. Need to hike, to overcome difficulties and stuff like that, for the content to be more interesting. Yeah, I'm heading towards home. Maybe I should stop somewhere just for a little hike. I'm not sure, but after all I need to go home for filming videos, you know, for streams also. It's been a while since I filmed something interesting. Well, usually what I film in the studio without any sort of the effort, that thing has views. If I film something outside, people don't like my vlogs really. I think so. I think they watch my analysis, let's say, about Donny, about some different stuff. Those videos are more popular compared to trash I film. Also, the same applies for the streams. Then I speak about politics, and it's just chatting, you know, we just chat. Look for the news, updates, Ukraine, United States, world. Like, it's more popular. Then I just play some game, it's not that popular. But today I want to play some game. I'm tired of everything. Can I tell like that? Yeah, actually I'm not that tired. Just a little. I'm just frustrated that maybe sometimes I don't have the news to speak about, like positive news, you know. And also I'm frustrated that the war in Ukraine continues for a very long time, and my channel dedicated to that, and I'm just tired of speaking about that topic. That's why I started this channel, maybe like alternative, yeah. But I understand that it's hard to get popular in this niche that is basically trash about nothing. Yeah, I said about niche, but this channel, it doesn't have any sort of the niche at all. Zero, absolutely. That's why it's called trash. Between each other, yeah. The name of the channel is Captain Denys, but actually the shadow name is a trash channel. I want to look where I can park my car here, but it seems like everything is covered by snow and there is nowhere I can park. Know that I took my car out now from the parking. It was the guy who was checking the parking time, and it just has expired like 2 minutes or something like that. Just expired, I'm taking my car. I said, yeah, you can take, go. You already paid. I say, oh, thank you. So I shouldn't expect any sort of the fine this time, at least. Yes, here paying for parking is really important. I remember how once in Italy I rented the car and I paid for the parking and everything, but I didn't know that you should put the ticket, you know, the ticket, if you pay, you put the ticket under the wiper, that's it. I paid, I didn't put it, I didn't know like that I should do it, and I got fined. I returned to the car and there was the fine for 100 or something euros, and I had to go to police, and it was my last day of my vacation. I had to drive to police, and like 20 minutes before the end of the day I showed them I have a fine and I need to cancel this, and yeah, they did it for me. Yeah, I think I should go somewhere also tomorrow. Like every day I should film those blogs, also telling you about some big topics, like for example today I spoke about the confrontation between autocracies and democracies. I think it's kind of interesting to listen to that stuff, and also to watch some sort of the activities I have. Maybe it is interesting, but maybe not. I think it's not interesting for most of the people, as I already mentioned to you. For most of the people it's better to watch just the short video that I film in my studio dedicated to a specific topic, and that's it. I think that's how it should be, of course, and I'll continue to make that sort of the content, but this one I also like, this content style. At least I have the camera and I want to film more. This is a nice cam. I like it. I like it. I don't know how the image would look like. I'm filming in 4K after all, but it seems like it should be pretty much good. Yeah, the problem here goes with the parking for cars. That's why I like to ride a motorcycle. At least I can park it almost everywhere. In a car, it's way more difficult. So many good villages. They're covered by snow. They are not that ugly as usual. I already told you that I don't really like the architecture. Huh? Where is my display? Where did it go? Head-up display disappeared. Jeez. Why? What happened to you? Yeah, I think it is gone, really. Head-up display is gone. Well, the main thing is transmission and the engine. The rest, head-up display or no head-up display doesn't really matter that much. But I need to find the place where I can switch off the car completely, reset it. Maybe the total reset might help. Oh shit. Now I understand. Oh, head-up display is actually working. It's the first time I'm wearing those glasses and I wonder why head-up display is not working. I even stopped to check it out. Well, the problem is that polarized glasses. Now I see head-up display. Now I don't see it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep. With polarized glasses, it's a little different. Oh my. Yep. But still, it's better with the glasses and without display than with display and without glasses. I knew that polarized glasses, they work like that for usual displays, for even some of the FE's instrument, electronic flight instruments in the cockpit. That's why pilots, they shouldn't wear polarized glasses. But I didn't know for head-up display. It's actually something interesting. Jeez. Yeah, it's hilarious. I already started to play Modi, but it's not the problem with the vehicle, it's problem with me. Guys, tell me what you like to see on this channel. Maybe more cooking videos, more hiking videos, more, I don't know, some of the reviews. I can go, like, I have an idea to go to film aviation museum, maybe spotting in airport. I don't have the lens for spotting, but anyways, I can make some photos there. Not necessarily exactly spotting, but something interesting pictures. I think that the longest zoom lens I have is the prime lens 85mm. It's not okay for spotting, but at least something. Then the proper lens for spotting, exactly for spotting, could be maybe 700mm, something like that. But those cost a lot, and they are very big, like huge, very long, like telescope on the camera. But they're very sharp, and you'll have very good images, especially for wildlife photography and for airplane spotting. On the camera which I bought, the big one, Sony Alpha 7S, well, it's mainly for video. It's not a perfect camera for photo, it has not many pixels, but for video, that is great camera. That is very awesome camera. But sometimes I can film on this one if I'm especially on a trip somewhere. I think action camera is the best feature for it, especially this Insta Ace Pro 2. I think overall it's the best one on the market. I think so. Still with Action 6, even released recently. I got Action 6, and I would say that maybe even Action 5 Pro is better than the newly released Action 6. I didn't check it, by the way. I just got the package and I need to test it. Well, I'll see. But you know, as for menu, as for the gear, I like this one more. It just feels better. I don't know, I just have this personal attachment to Ace Pro 2, it feels way better, especially with this flip up screen. It's very big and I see absolutely everything, the way how it works. I wonder about the picture. Well, you already know this picture quality. I don't know, it's the first time I'm filming on this one. Maybe it's crap after all, you know. Maybe it's a shitty camera for the video quality and for the sound quality. Well, I hope at least with the exterior mic, radio mic, it's better, yeah, than internally built microphone. And some people may prefer internal mic. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I will see. Oh, this area is very familiar for me because here I trained to land outside the airfield on glider. It's very close to Vetville, I think, or some sort of that village. I know it because here is the field I was aiming for to land in case of landing outside the airfield. And I trained it on the glider with the engine, of course. And we did the go round and there were power lines very close, so it was really tricky as for me, but you know, after all, we have to do this training. Unfortunately, instructor with whom I used to fly, he passed away already. Yeah, was a great guy. And the last season I totally messed up. I mean, I just flown a little in France, and I like to fly in France because there is multiple of the options you have. You have plateau, you have mountains, so if the weather is good, you go to mountains. Here, mountains straight away, you don't have lots of the opportunities to land, so you need to know the weather and how it works from the very beginning. Well, in France it also could be like that, but in Vinon-sur-Verdon, the place where I fly, it's mostly a flat terrain, and to reach mountains, well, it's roughly 30 kilometers you have to go on a glider one way. And actually myself personally, I reached those mountains just once, and I was absolutely sure that the weather is good. That's why not many people like the location of Vinon-sur-Verdon, but it's pretty much good for training. And I don't have lots of the experience flying gliders, so for me flying in the flat terrain is also okay, especially when the weather is fine. I prefer maybe even flying over the flat terrain more. It's more safe, as for me. Flying in the mountains, it's always tricky, and still I'm in lack of the knowledge how to fly there. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not an easy task. You should fly years and years and years in a mountains environment to understand how it really works. Now we are climbing, and there is the sun. Yeah, I think that the next time I'm gonna go to Pilatus. Pilatus is not far away from Lucerne. In summertime there is also the train going to the top of the mountain, but now it's only option for the cable road during the winter time. So I should aim straight forward for the cable road to climb there. Well, it's similar to Santis. Yeah, and I would like also to go to Sarmat. That's a very expensive ski resort, but it's far away. So I'll have to spend the entire day going, climbing, forgetting about streams, forgetting about filming videos on my main channel. So it's almost not possible for me to go there that far away. Here it's more or less okay to Santis. Further, though, there could be issues, let's say. Well, maybe in the morning, like early morning, I'm gonna wake up, film the video on my main channel, update, let's say publish the video, or just put it as unlisted, finishing filming at 6, yeah, waking up at 2, maybe 3, filming the video, finishing at 6, and publishing it on the way. Then I'll be going to Zermatt at 9. So around 9 I'm at Zermatt filming vlog and coming back, let's say 5. in the evening and making stream or filming with one more video on this channel. Could be, yeah, could be an idea. Why not? Luckily now I have the daytime schedule, because sometimes it was a night schedule and I was working at night and sleeping during the daytime. It was terrible and I felt terrible. So now it's more or less okay. Yesterday I was kind of busy with my things, with the family, and then I was up to film the videos about Ukraine. There were not many news. I was like really tired, so I went sleep. I wanted actually to have a nap just for a couple of hours, and I found myself sleeping till the morning time, and just early morning I woke up and started filming at around 5 a.m. Already published the video today. So yeah, the schedule sometimes it's kind of tricky, and if I'll have like lots and lots of the views, I even may film 2 videos per day. 2 videos per day, sometimes it works, sometimes not, depends. If you have really nice news, it might work. Like, for example, good news from the front lines, good news around other stuff, some unique kabooms. I see that people also got tired of kabooms. They do not perceive it as something unique any longer, because it's no longer unique. Maybe Ukraine strikes Russia every day, but before, you know, like 2 years ago, if Ukraine hit some of the Russian refineries, it was breaking news, awesome news, something really astonishing. And now it's like average. The same goes for the Russian military bases, Russian airplanes, everything of that. Yeah, it's already understandable that Ukraine is capable for long strikes deep inside Russia. So people are not impressed any longer. And because my channel is based on news happening, I cannot over-exaggerate. I cannot make some sensational videos to attract more people to the channel. It's absolutely not possible. As it is possible in some other topics, yeah, over-exaggeration. But here, no. Maybe if I spoke just about politics, like here on the Stress channel, maybe I could over-exaggerate a little, you know, paint the news in a bright color, but about Ukraine, you cannot really do it too much, yeah. That's the downside of my channel, because after all you have this top that you can reach, and after it you cannot grow. With the news, with everything. Even eagles are flying. Those are the thermals here. They're not waving their wings. So yeah, of course with the sun there could be some of the thermals even during the late autumn time. It's very sad that during the winter there are some of the passes closed, passes across the mountains, my favorite places, areas. They're open just at the summertime, then there is warm. Because maybe it's dangerous during winter to go there. Maybe I can go with the car the maximum distance possible till the pass, and the rest I can just hike, walk, I guess, because it's closed for the traffic but not for walking. I think you can walk. Yeah, I think so. Well, anyways guys, I think it's enough for today for me, blah blah blah. It was already a nice vlog, and it's gonna be long, I guess 30 minutes or even more. Tell me in the comments if you like the video, if you like audio and this style of the content, because I like it a lot. I want to share some thoughts with you, everything, you know. So thank you so much for watching me. I wish you all everything positive, and ciao.